Check out time, it's 4:15 in the afternoon. Welcome to our program. This is Matsaya. Kaban gihapon ang iyong teacher sa kahanginan. This is Sir Raymond. Alright, good afternoon. Today is October 12, 2020. Adlang Lunes. Usa na pod ka oras ug usa na pod sa pagtulunan og tulumanon ang ato pagahisgutan karong adlaw. Good afternoon especially to my students nga naminaw karon. Sa ako mga grade 12 ABM o sa ako mga HRTM students nga naminaw pod karon. I'm sure that many of us already familiar or are familiar with the word percentage, and as shown on our screen, diha makita nato on how the different methods or the different ways on how we are going to use and how we present percentages in business, in data presentation, in even news, or probably in research or in study nato makita nato na diha and how we are going to present percentages. Alright, makita nato diha source nato sa Eureka Alert, Science News. So it is shown there sa to figure diha akong giun sa pag-present in percentage form ang mga different unsa na siya causes or ang excess deaths due to ambient air pollution per year in Europe. So makita na to diha ang 7% lang cancer, 6% COPD, 7% pneumonia, 32% other non-communicable diseases, 8% stroke, and 40% ischemic heart disease. So kana siya mga percentage, kana mga 7%, 6%. So makatabang na siya most importantly in presenting and understanding further the data, kay di na kailangan nyo mapabasahon ang text. Another example is this, in tabular form. So kana siya is on diagram or in diagram form. Kana siya in tabular form or graphical form or in tabular form. So makita na to diha ang by age, kung kinsa ang naapektuhan sa kaniyang sa SARS, sa COVID-19 or sa influenza. So you have there ang age, so natay 0 to 4, 5 to 9 and so on. So naay mga percentage diha equivalent percentage diha. So makita nato nga unsa kadaghanon sa kaning mga age bracket unsa kadaghanon ang naapektuhan or naapektuhan ani nga mga sakita. So present problems involve the applications of equations and called the percentage formulas. Okay? These formulas have three variables, specifically the percentage, ang kanang ato gitawag nga portion, the rate, and the base. So mao ni sila ang naay tulo ka symbol nga P, R, B. So P stands for percentage, B for base, and R for rate. Okay? So in business applications, in business applications, two of the variables are given and the other one is unknown. So in problem solving, you can directly find one variable or one unknown if two of these variables are already given. So you can find percentage if the rate and the base are already given. You can find the rate if the percentage and the base are given. You can find the base if the percentage and the rate are also given. Okay? So rate, or percentage is the variable in the percentage formula that represents a part of the base, meaning ang portion, Let's say for example, naakay 100, so naakay portion ana. Let's say for example, 10% of that, so naakay 100 correspondents or naakay 100 ka students, so 10% of this, So for example, pila man ang 10% sa 100. So makuha na nato later on. So portion, mo na ang part lang na siya. So it is always in the same terms of the unit with the base. For instance, if the base is pesos, the percentage should also be in pesos. Okay? So if the base is meters, the percentage should be in also meters. So the same na sila dapat og unit, So ang base is the number that represents 100% or the total of something or the whole thing. The base is usually preceded by the word of the given statement because it is being multiplied by the rate. Okay? So, mao na siya ang percentage and the base. Now, how about ang rate? Makalayan dayon nato, ang kalainan, ang ang ilhanan nga mao na siya ang rate is ang kanang percent symbol. So makita na to sa diha ang ako naa gani siya percent symbol, then mao na siya ang rate. So rate defines what part of the base, okay? What part of the base the percentage is, and if the rate is less than 100%, the percentage is less than the value of the base. Okay? If the base is 100%, the value of the percentage is equal the value of the base. So let's say for example, 10% of 100. So we will expect that the 10% of 100 should be lesser than 100. Okay? So kung mayong kag 100% of 100, it is equal to the base. But if the base is greater than 100%, the value of the percentage is greater than the value of the base. So for example, 150% of 100. Okay, so nilapas man siya, meaning dapat we will expect that the answer should be greater than 100. Okay? So the rate can be easily identified. Once again, ako pag yung ganiha, it can be easily identified because it is usually in terms of percent or in fraction. So in most cases, mo gamit ta og percent symbol. Kana siyang na-symbol diha. Okay? So before we begin solving problems, before we begin to solve percentage problems, let us consider this formula. So percentage is equal to rate times base or base times rate, given the following kanang symbols. Okay, so P stands for the percentage, base stands for the base, and R stands for the rate. Okay, so all you have to do is to multiply the base and the rate to find the percentage. Alright? And rate is equal to percentage over base, and base is equal to percentage over rate. And if you are familiar with the magic triangle, it is also provided there in the summary of this formula. Okay, but it's very easy to identify or to understand or to familiarize the formula of percentage because it is just the multiplication or the product of rate and the base. Alright? So before we begin to solve problems involving percentage, let us consider this example. 25% is equal to 25 over 100. So ako pag yung ganiha, as what I have mentioned a while ago, that if you are not going to use the percent symbol, you can also state or express your percent or percentage or rate rather in decimal or in fraction. So like let's say for example, this 25% can be expressed can be expressed into 0.25 or 25 over 100. Okay, because when we say percent, it is percentum meaning per 100. Mao na siya ang buto sa bot niya. A phrases such as 25% of 40. So meaning pila man ang 25% ni 40. Alright? So means 25 over 100 of 40, which means to multiply 25 over 100 times 40. So performing this computation yields the value of 10. Okay? So note that 10 is 25% of 40. So unahon nimo pag multiply unsaon, so you can also 25 divided by 100 times 40 or 25 times 40 divided by 100. No? Both methods or both ways can give you the same answer. Okay? So 25 times 40 divided by 100, so that is equal to 10. Meaning, 25% of 40 is 10. Alright? So in the above equation, the 25% is called the rate, usually written in terms of percent or in fraction. Alright, so the number 40 that follows the phrase percent of is called the base, and the result 10 of the computation is called the percentage. Okay, so mao na to siya ang mga different variables or the different parts of the percentage. Okay, so ang kalana ay rate is, ang kalana ay percent symbol is the rate, 40 is the base, and the answer 10 is your percentage. Okay, so how to find percentage, rate, and the base? So consider example number 1. Solve the following problems. What is 30% of 250? Okay, what is 30% of 250? Second is find 120% of 45. What number is equal to 30.5% of 80? Letter D is 0.4% of 700 is equal to what number? How much is 2/5 of 90? Find 30% as great as 50% of 150. Okay? So in each of these problems, the rate and the base are known. So ako pakikayong ganiha, we have 3 variables for these lessons. Or for this lesson rather. Okay? If you are just given 2 variables out of 3, then you can find the remaining unknown variable. So since we are given 2 variables already, then we can directly find the unknown variable. So for letter A, okay, since the problem says percent of 250, the base is 250, no? So using the formula, and the rate is 30% as what is given. So from the formula, percentage is equal to rate times base. Rate is 30% and the base is 250, no? So you convert your percent to decimal form. That's 0.30 or 0.3 times 250, and that is equal to 75. Therefore, 75 is 30% of 250. Okay, so your answer there is 75. For letter B naman, okay, since the problem says percent of 45, the base is 45 and the rate is 120%. So, unsa may gipangita nato? Naa natay percent, or naa natay rate, naa natay base. So, ang ato gipangita is the percentage. And again, to find the percentage, you can use the formula percentage is equal to base times rate, or rate times base. So, rate there is 120% and the base is 45. You convert percent into decimal, so that's 1.2 times 45, so that is 54. So, manakog yung ganiha, that if your rate is greater than 100, then your percentage should be greater than the base. So, 1.2 times 45, so 54. 54 there is the percentage, no? Or 120% of 45. Okay? For letter C, since the problem says percent of 80, the base is 80 and the rate is 30.5 or 30.5%. Alright, 30.5%. So 30.5% times 80, you convert percent to decimal. That is 30.5 or 0.305. No? By the way, how to convert percent to decimal? You just have to divide percent by 100. So that's 30.5 divided by 100, and that is equal to 0.305. Okay? So anaon lang pag-convert from rate or from percent to decimal. Ang 30.5, i-divide lang nimo siya by 100. So that is equal to 0.305 multiplied by the base, which is equal to 80. So the answer there is 24.4. So 24.4 is 30.5% of 80. Right? Okay, for letter D, since the problem says percent of 700, the base is 700 and the rate is 0.4%. Okay, 0.4%. First, you have to convert 0.4% to decimal. So again, imo na po na siya i-divide by 100. So 0.4 divided by 100, that is 0.004 times 700. So 0.4% of 700 is 2.8. Okay, and for letter E, since the problem says 2/5 of 90, so 2/5 of 90, the base is 90, the rate is 2/5. Percentage is equal to the rate times the base. So 2/5, or imo na siya i-convert to decimal. So 2 divided by 5, that's 0.4. Or pwede po nimo i-diretso na pag-multiply. So 2 times 90, that's 180. Divide by 5, that is equal to 36. Thus, 36 is 2/5 of 90. Okay? So I hope that you can still follow there, no? Letter F. Okay, so our last problem. Since the problem says 50% of 150, the base is 150, the rate is 50%. So you have to convert 50% to decimal, that's 0.5 times 150, so that's 75%. Okay? So the problem also states that as great as 50% of 150, which would mean that 75 is the base of the problem. So percentage imo na po siya kana may follow-up question, no? So na may follow-up question. Okay? Na 30% times 75, so 0.3 times 75. So the final answer there is 22.5. Meaning 22.5 is 30% of 75. Okay? Or 50% of 30% rather. 30% of 75. Okay. Next topic is about increase and decrease in percentage, rate, and base. Okay, if you have some questions or clarifications, you can send your comments or questions sa ato comment section there. So if you are still following sa ato discussion, especially to my students nga namino karon, you can comment your feedback or questions or queries or clarifications on the topic that we have discussed. You can put nyo a comment sa ato comment section. Alright, so our next topic is about increase and decrease in percentage, rate, and the base. So percent increase is used to illustrate how much quantity of an amount has increased over its original value. The statement employee received a 10% salary increase and sales volume increased by 5% compared to the last year's sales volume are examples of percent increase. On the other hand, percent decrease is used to illustrate how much a quantity or an amount has decreased from its original value. So, makaiba lang kag-increase, of course, ni taas siya. Decrease ni ubos. Okay? Next, the statements employees average production output has decreased 8% over last month, no? And sales volume decreases by 7% are examples of the use of percent decrease. Okay? So, meaning, nigamay ang inyo sales karon. So, makita na to din mga kahigalaan atong sa mga kasyentihan karon nga this is how important our percentage or percent lesson is, especially in business. Kay we can also use percent in not only in providing a more comprehensive presentation of data in business, but also we can use this tool in predicting the sales for the next months to come. Okay, kung kailangan pa ba ninyo paninduton ang inyo strategy, kung unsa pa yung mga dapat nga strategies ang inyo dapat i-employ so that your sales will increase, kung nakita ninyo nga nag-decrease siya over the last month. So, at least this will be your basis of planning an intervention on the strategies that you can use so that your business will, or the sales, for example, your production will increase. Okay? So one of the most common applications of percentage involves expressing an increase or decrease. In order to find the amount of increase or decrease in a particular quantity or measurement as a percent, we multiply the rate by the original amount and add the product to the base if it is in an increase, and we subtract the product from the base if it is a decrease. So examples. Okay, so some examples ani. So the formulas can be summarized. Okay, as shown, percentage of increase is equal to base plus the product of the base and the rate. Kung decrease is equal to the base minus quantity, the product of base and the rate. Alright? So example, that's 285 increased by 36%. So we are given that the rate is 36%. Convert that one to decimal form, that is 0.36. The base is 285. So percent increase, from the word itself, increase. So percentage of increase, that is equal to base plus the quantity, the product of your base times rate. So 285 is your base plus 285 times 0.36. So ang product ni 285 o ni 0.36 is 102.6. You add to its base, that is 285. So 285 plus 102.6 is equal to 387.6. So that is what is meant by 285 increased by 36%. For number 2, how much is 3 over 7 less than 457.8 pesos? So again, our unit here is pesos. So that's, we should expect that our unit in our answer should also be in pesos. Okay. So given the rate is 3/7 in fraction form, base is 457.8. Decrease, no? Kay less man, no? Decrease. Alright, so percentage of decrease is equal to base minus the quantity base times rate. So 457.8 minus the product, no? Kung ato na siya i-multiply, the product of 457.8 times 3/7. So the product is 196.2. Okay? So the answer there is 261.6, no? So 457.8 minus 196.2, the answer is 261.6. So to determine the rate of increase of decrease, we need to get, no, the difference between the two values and divide it by the base. Then change the fraction to percent if it is necessary. How to change? You have just to you just have to multiply, no, the decimal form by 100 para mahimo siya nga percent symbol or percent form. Okay? So the rate is equal to the larger amount minus the smaller amount over the base. That is already your rate in decimal form. Pero kung gusto ka nga himuon siya nimo nga na ay percent symbol or percent, imo lang siya i-multiply og 100. So larger amount, no, larger amount minus the smaller amount over the base. Okay? Times 100, so that will be your rate. Example number 3, find what part less than 272 is 85. Actually, no, kaning mga kind of questions naani siya kasagaran mo gawa sa mga entrance exam, mga IQ test, no, mga IQ test, civil service, oo, nasa civil service, oo, sa mga entrance exam, mga IQ test, mga sa pa ni siya. Basta mga ingana mga, 'di ba? Oo. Oh, mga scholarship exam, manggawas ng mga questions. So, okay, so find what part less than 272 is 85. So larger amount is 272, smaller amount is 85, the base is 272. So following the formula, you just have to substitute the formula given. No, so 272 minus 85, that's 187. Divide by the base, that's 272. That's 11/16. No, 11/16. Mao na siya ang rate in fraction form. Okay, in fraction form. Now, if you wanted to convert that one into percent form, so all you have to do is to multiply that one by 100. No, so 11/16 pila man? 11/16 times 100. Sige, ato tan-aw nga rin sa to calculator. Nabe calculator ani? Oo, naman siguro calculator ani. Let's find out. Yes, na calculator, no? So that is 11 divided by 16. Okay, that's 0.6875 times 100. That is 68.75%. Okay, that's 68.75%. Don't forget the percent symbol. Okay. Example number 4. What percent more than 96 is 108? So larger amount is 108, smaller amount is 96, base is 96. Okay, so larger amount minus smaller amount over the base. So 108 minus 96 over 96 times 100. So that's 12.5%. Or 0.125. Pwede na siya. Kung imo siya i-convert to percent, i-multiply lang siya og 100. So that's 12.5%. Alright, to obtain the value of the base on a given amount, that is rate or the fractional part, greater than or less than the missing amount, divide the number by the sum or by the difference. Okay? So base of increase is equal to percentage over 1 plus rate. Okay? Base of decrease is equal to percentage over 1 minus rate. Okay? So applications. So let's proceed to applications. No? Number 1, JG Metal Industries has 1,600 employees. 60% constitutes the production staff. How much employees are in production? So, for us to have no a systematized or systematic way of answering this problem, para guided po ang ato solution, it is very advisable for us to determine first or identify first what are the given in the problem. So, given are the following: base is equal to 1,600, rate is 60%, convert that one to decimal, that's 0.6, and the unknown is the percentage. We know that percentage can be found or can be solved using the formula rate times the base, no? So, rate is 0.6, the base is 1,600, thus 960 employees are in the production. Okay? Nakuha di Jinashi? Next problem, number 2. A multi-billion company reduces its workforce of 35,000 by 4.7%. How many employees were laid off? So, pila man ang gitanggal, no? Bot pasabot ana. So, base is 35,000, rate is 4. That's not 4.4 but 4.7, sorry. 4.7, typographical error na siya. 4.7%, convert that one to decimal, that's 0.047. Again, how to convert? You divide 4.7% by 100. So, 0.047. Okay? So, percentage is 0.047 times 35,000. So, the answer there is 1,645 employees ang gitanggal. No? Okay? So, 4.7% man ang gitanggal. So, pila man ang 4.7% ni 35,000? So, i-multiply lang nimo. No? So, 35,000 times 0.047. So, that's 1,645 ang gitanggal. Okay? So, pila man ang nahabilin? Na ay nahabilin nga mga 33,000 na lang, no? 33,355. No? Sakto ba? 33,355. Okay? Alright. So, mo na to ang nahabilin. Kay nagtanggal man sila. Siguro nag-start na og ka-bankrupt ang company. So, nagtanggal sila mga trabahante, no? Oo. Next, number 3. Of the 30 employees who started a promotional training program, 12 dropped out. So, 12 ang nag-drop. What was the dropout rate? So, na kay base given nga 30, percentage now is 12, find the rate. So, rate is equal to percentage over the base. So, nalam kay percentage nga 12, divide by the base 30, so 12 over 30, that's 0.4, i-times og 100, that's 40%. Okay? Yes. Number 4. Second to the last problem. According to Dole's report, 2.3 million Filipinos or 20% of the country's workforce were unemployed. How large was the workforce? So, pila man di ay ang kinatibukan, no? Kung ang kanang 2.3 million Filipinos or 20% of the country's workforce, so kanang 20%, pila man di ay ang kinatibukan nga workforce sa Philippines. Okay? So, given ta nga ang rate is 20% and the percentage is 2.3 million, we are going to find the base, ang kinatibukan, no? So, base is equal to percentage over rate. So, 2.3 million, okay, or 2,300,000 divide by 0.2 because you converted already 20% to decimal. So, that is equal to 11.5 million. Okay? Or 11,500,000. That is the total workforce of the Filipinos according to Dole. Okay? Pero 20% of which is equal to 2.3 million are unemployed. Okay? How to check? Imo lang i-divide lang nimo or i-multiply lang nimo. Okay? Ang i-minus nimo ang 11 million 5 or 11.5 million minus 2.3 million. This should be 80%. Kay naa man kay 20% sa country nga unemployed. Therefore, na ay 80% remaining nga employed. out of 100, di ba? 100% man, no? So, given man tanga 20% ang unemployed, so ang remaining 80% are the employed. Okay? So, mo na siya ang kinatibukan. So, 11.5 million minus 2.3 million, so mao to siya ang employed nga workforce. Kaya ang kanang 11.5 million is the total workforce. To get the employed workforce, so 11.5 minus 2.3. That's 8.2. Sakto ba? 8.2. 8.2. Oo, 8.2. Or 9.2 rather. 9.2 million. Oo. Last problem. Last month, Alisa received 15,000. This month, she received 12,000. What percentage of decrease does this represent? Okay? So, larger amount minus the smaller amount. Okay? So, pila man? Over the base. So, larger amount is 15,000 minus that smaller amount is 12,000. Divide the base is 15,000. So, 15 minus 12, that's 3,000. Divide by 15, that's 0.2. If you convert that one to percent, times 100, so 0.2 times 100, that is equal to 20%. Therefore, ang rate or decrease, not decrease rate or the rate of decrease is equal to 20%. Okay?
I believe there is more to what you see. You call it paradise.
Alright, for your learning task and for your learning activities, so you have to answer these 3 problems. Okay, you have to answer these 3 problems. And